In the breathtakingly visceral, conceptually dazzling, and relentlessly paced quantum thriller, Dark Matter, New York Times best-selling powerhouse Blake Crouch, Wayward Pines, Recursion, delivers a defining masterpiece of contemporary science fiction. The narrative masterfully utilizes a multiverse displacement and psychological survival framework. The plot centers on Jason Dessen, a brilliant former quantum physicist who long ago chose a quiet domestic life as a college professor, happily married to his artist wife Daniela, and raising his teenage son Charlie. Jason's comfortable, predictable world is violently shattered on a crisp Chicago night when he is abducted at gunpoint by a masked stranger, driven to an abandoned power plant, injected with an unknown drug, and knocked unconscious. When he wakes up, he is strapped to a gurney, surrounded by celebratory scientists in hazmat suits, and introduced to a terrifying reality. The life he knew is entirely gone, and he has crossed over into a world where his family does not exist. Crouch's signature prose is exceptionally lean, muscular, and packed with a driving cinematic energy that balances hard scientific theory with raw human desperation. The narrative employs a mind-bending, labyrinthine pursuit structure, tracking Jason as he realizes he has been swapped with a version of himself from an alternate reality, a version who successfully built a quantum superposition device known as the Box, capable of accessing the infinite branches of the multiverse. Crouch expertly weaponizes the identity theft and man-against-himself formulas, shifting the narrative momentum into top gear as Jason attempts to pilot his way back through a terrifying corridor of endless alternate realities. Each door he opens reveals a different version of Chicago, some frozen in nuclear winter, others ravaged by plagues, as he frantically hunts for the precise genetic and emotional frequency of his true home. Far from a cold academic thought experiment, the book serves as a profound, beautifully textured study on the weight of unmade choices, the true nature of identity, and the infinite, unbreakable gravity of love. The audiobook format is an absolute tour de force in science fiction narration, leveraging an incredibly intense, emotionally raw performance that handles the story's existential panic with flawless precision. The vocal delivery masterfully tracks Jason's psychological evolution, perfectly capturing his initial breathless confusion, his mounting terror as the scale of the multiverse unravels, and his sharp, calculating determination as a scientist fighting to reclaim his soul. The rapid-fire pacing and rhythmic staccato dialogue translate into an exceptionally addictive audio binge that flows beautifully through headphones, making the theoretical physics feel instantly accessible and shockingly immediate. It is a mandatory listen for sci-fi and thriller enthusiasts who crave the reality-bending plots of Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, combined with the relentless everyday man panic of Harlan Coben or Andy Weir. By the time the final act unleashes a brilliant high-stakes confrontation that forces Jason to face the ultimate consequence of his own ambition, you will realize that Dark Matter is a definitive triumph, a brilliant, mind-shattering map of human resilience and absolute